Good evening. Hundreds of disabled, elderly and vulnerable residents have protested on the steps of Birmingham City Council to oppose a possible cut in social care services. The council needs to save around £20 million from its adult care budget, which it says is part of cuts across all areas.
But charities like Mind and Midland MenCap, who organised today's demonstration, say thousands of people who live independently with their help could lose their homes. Andy Bevan has our top story.
They braved the rain to make their voices heard.
No more cuts! No more cuts!
300 of Birmingham's most at-risk residents were determined to let the City Council know what effect proposed cuts to social care services will have on their lives. The council must lose about £20 million from its adult care budget, around £5 million of that from the Supporting People programme, which helps the most vulnerable live independently.
Budgets in social care have been cut dramatically already in Birmingham. We absolutely recognise this is not Birmingham City Council's making. We're very supportive of the council's attempt to protect services. However, we're right now at the tipping point. If we lose these services, they're irreplaceable, and the very vulnerable groups represented here today will have little or no support whatsoever in Birmingham.
The areas that people have been getting help in up to now and which stand to go are things like housing, social care, healthcare, financial issues and community projects. Things that people say give them a place in society, and they say if they go, they'll lose that place.
Martin is 62 and has a learning disability. He's lived alone in his Birmingham bungalow since his wife passed away 11 years ago. The house fell into disrepair, but through the Supporting People scheme, Midland MenCap offered him help and advice on arranging repairs, including a new kitchen. Martin now gets 2 hours a week of support from Midland MenCap, enabling him to manage his bills and other paperwork. It's a total turnaround from his previously isolated life.
Everything just went downhill. I was in the table mess. Because I was too afraid to ask anybody for help. But now, since I've had all this help, it's been brilliant. I'm on top of everything now. Sort out my bills and things like that. So this MenCap came, they got me sorted out. There's going to be a real big argument over these cuts. They can't do that, not this government. They can't do it. I'm terrified in case it stops, but I'm hoping it don't. That's what I'm hoping for, really, but with this government you can't tell what's going to happen.
Naturally, Martin was keen to be part of today's protest, but he's one of almost 10,000 people who could, at worst, become homeless if their services are cut. Midland MenCap estimates that figure includes more than 2,000 people with mental health problems, almost 1,000 people with learning disabilities, 4,200 young people between 16 and 25, including those leaving care, over 600 people with physical and sensory disabilities, and more than 2,100 women and children fleeing domestic abuse and violence.
The most dangerous time for women and children is when they're leaving or have left. That's when most of them die or are seriously injured. And this is what we're looking at if these cuts go ahead.
Birmingham City Council had asked for feedback on its proposals, and it has certainly had it, with almost 3,000 responses and letters handed in this morning to the Cabinet Member for Health and Social Care.
When the government has removed so much from our budget, we cannot then say that there's a certain group we just don't touch and then everybody else is disproportionately affected. We have to consider everything on its merits.
The consultation period surrounding the proposed cuts finishes on Wednesday, and the full council will debate the issue on February the 28th. Only then will these demonstrators know if their voices have been heard. Andy Bevan, ITV News.
Hunt saboteurs have